Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to be discussing the market value to realized value Z-Score, or MVRV Z-Score. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Let's go ahead and jump in. So the MVRV Z-Score is something that has historically been useful for helping us to better identify, true euphoric mania phases. It can also be used to identify market cycle bottoms. So we essentially have three different lines on the chart, right? The first thing we have the blue line, which is the market cap of Bitcoin. The orange line that's just below the blue line, that is the realized cap. Okay? That's the realized cap. If you look at this line right here, this is the MVRV Z-score. Now, the MVRV Z-score is just simply equal to the market cap of Bitcoin minus the realized cap divided by the standard deviation of the market cap. So the cool thing about this metric is that essentially whenever the market cap of Bitcoin goes below the realized cap, that tends to mark market cycle bottoms, right? You can see in 2011 and in 2015 and in 2018 and then again in 2022. So whenever you see that go below zero, that's historically been a low or pretty close to it, right? Pretty close to it. I mean, you can see this past cycle, it went below it, and then it went below it once more about, almost half a year later or so. It can also be used to help us identify sort of true euphoric mania phases. Now, if you go back and look at last cycle, there was sort of a mid-cycle top in June of 2019. And if you looked at the MVRV Z-score, you could see that at that top, the MVRV Z-score only went up to about 2.67. However, historically, market cycle tops for Bitcoin corresponded to MVRV Z-scores that were basically between 7 and 11 or so. This one might have gone slightly. Yeah, this is around 11. So between 7 and 11. So back in 2019, to help us identify that this was a mid-cycle top and not a market cycle top, we were able to look at the MVRV Z-score. But then in 2021, you can see that the MVRV Z-score went all the way up to 7, right? 7. And that was sort of a warning signal that the market was getting pretty heated. This is actually further evidence. A lot of people talk about this, that in 2021, sort of the real top was early on, and then we sort of had, like a dead cat bounce that somehow made its way to a new all-time high. So perhaps it's not best called a dead cat bounce, and ultimately I think price action is king, so you sort of respect price over the indicator. But you can understand why a lot of people were more convinced of the first top than the second top. Now, we also had a top in March by the MVRV Z-score that also hit 3. Now, remember the one in 2019 hit around 2.67. Now, back in March, we suggested that this was likely not a market cycle top, but a mid-cycle top. Essentially, sort of an early top that occurs where the euphoria kind of front runs everything, and then we have to spend a while going down before we then pick back up again. So you could look at a chart like this and simply say, all right, well, it made sense that this was not the market cycle top because the MVRV Z-score only went to 3. And historically, market cycle tops for Bitcoin have corresponded to when the MVRV Z-score hit somewhere between like 7 to 10, right? Or around 7 to 10. In fact, the first cycle top, the MVRV Z-score topped out at around 7.68. The last one topped out at around 7.15. So, and you can see sort of the ones in between went even higher. Again, right now, the MVRV Z-score high for this cycle is 3.29. But this is another metric that, that certainly could be useful in helping to confirm whether a high corresponds to a market cycle top, or, if that true euphoric sentiment is there, or if we just think it's there, right? And that's kind of the thing about, back in March 2024, it felt like the market was overheated, and it was, right? We got a mid-cycle top, but a look at this chart would have helped to suggest it was not, in fact, the market cycle top. So I do think this is just another chart that we can put sort of in our toolkit to help us better navigate Bitcoin. Again, you can get access to it at intothecryptoverse.com. We do have the sale going on. We'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.